Hey guys, welcome back in another episode of our Jetpack Compose series. In the last lecture, we discussed about Jetpack Compose. We also created an app which contains the app bar and a navigation icon. In the last video, we didn't launch the app, but in this video, we are going to run our app on an emulator, and we are also going to add some more features into it. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Okay, so this was our last project. Let me zoom a little bit. Okay, so first of all, let's run our app and see our app in action. And again, this is a simple app. We didn't add much features in the last video. It will only have this app bar with the navigation icon, and which is useless right now, but we will make it interactive in later videos. Okay, as you can see, this is our app with the navigation icon. It is clickable, but it does not do anything. This is our app bar, this is our title. Okay, so now we need to add the bottom navigation bar on the bottom of the screen, because as the name says, it's a bottom bar. It's a top bar and it will be the bottom bar. Okay, so let's create a file with the name compose bottom navbar. Okay, so sorry, we didn't want to create a class here but a file. First we need to add some components on the bottom bar, and for that we will create a sealed class and we'll name it navigation item, and it will have a title, it will have an icon, it will also have a route. What is route? We will discuss it in a little bit. Okay, so we have created a title, an icon and a route. Title will be basically the label of that navigation item. Icon would be the icon which will represent that item, and the route is basically the destination of that item or screen. Here we can also use the drawable, but I am going to use image vector. Okay, so now I'll create an object of home which will extend navigation item. The title here would be the home. The icon would be icons.default.home. So the reason for using the image vector here was because I wanted to use the default icons here. If you want to use your custom images, you can use drawable here and add a drawable here. Like at this moment I don't have any drawable, but it will have some default like this. Sorry, we'll have to, it's an integer. Okay, but we don't want to use it. We will use image vector and icons dot default dot home, and finally the route. The second one would be the profile, third would be the settings. This route should always be unique, because route is basically a destination or identity of that screen. If we use same names, then our controller, which is used to navigate between screens, will be confused. So always remember and use unique keys or names for the routes. Okay, the second step would be to create the bottom navigation bar. For that we will create a function bottom navigation bar. We will add Nav Controller here. Okay, we'll add it later. First create the screen first. Well, items is equals to list of, this will be the list of our navigation bottom navigation items, and it includes the home, profile and the settings. Now we will add the bottom navigation here. Bottom navigation requires navigation items. So as we have the list of items, we will create a for each loop here, and we will loop through the list and add the items by using bottom navigation item component. I will use that selected as false. On click will have some action here, we will use it later. It will have a label. Label requires a text, and our text would be item.title. It also requires an icon. An icon would be our item.icon, and the description would be the title. Let's close it now. Okay, so what else do we require is the unselected content color, that would be the gray, and the selected content color would be the white. Okay, so now our navigation is ready. Let's call it in our main screen. It is giving me some error. Okay, so let's go in main screen, and below the top bar we'll add the bottom app bar, bottom navigation bar. Let's rerun the app. So as you can see, we have added bottom navigation. It is clickable, but nothing is happening because we haven't called anything on the click of this item, and it is also not changing screens because we haven't tell it to do that. Okay, so now let's do some coding and add some things here. Okay, so before continuing, let's open the browser and search for Jetpack Compose navigation, and the first link will take you to the developers page. And here, as you can see, we have a dependency and we need to add this dependency in our project. So copy this and go to our dependency injection, add dependency here and synchronize the project. So we have added our dependency here. Let's go in our bottom navigation bar, and here we need to add few things here. First of all, we will add Nav Controller, Nav Host Controller. Okay, so we'll add Nav Backstack entry by Nav Host Controller dot okay. Now we also need to add current route, which we can get by Nav Backstack entry dot destination dot route. This will return us the current route. Okay, so what is Nav Host Controller? Nav Host Controller basically a API which is responsible for controlling your navigation. It contains the backstack of our navigation through which we can go back and forth, like we can move between screens with the help of Nav Host Controller. So with the help of Nav Host Controller, we get the backstack entry, and from that we get our current route by using Nav Host Controller dot destination dot route. Okay, so now when the user clicks on the navigation item, something need to happen, and to do that we will add the code here. We will add Nav Host Controller dot navigate, and here we are going to pass our route. In this case it is this. So we have used Nav Host Controller and we asked it to navigate to this route. So for example, if we are on the screen A, and if we tell it to go to navigate to route B, it will take us from A to B. Okay, So now we need to add our selected route here. So whenever we are on our current route, we need to display it by telling it that we are on this route. So for example, we will add if current route equals item dot route. It means we are on some page and this is equals to the route, and when the selected becomes true, the selected color will be enabled and it will become white. Okay, so now we need to create some destinations here, and for that we can add composable function. We will name it as navigation, which will require a nav host controller, and it will contain the nav host. Nav host requires nav host controller, so we are going to pass it here, and we don't need graph here, so we will use, but we need start destination. Start destination means that whenever your app starts and that screen appears which contains the bottom navigation, which screen you want to appear first. So we want our start destination to be home, so we are going to define navigation item dot home dot route. So by doing this, we are telling it that our start destination is the home. Now we need to add some composable here, and we need to tell it navigation item dot home dot route. This is our first composable. We will do it 3 times because we have 3 items. Second for profile, third for settings. Okay, so now we have created our navigation item, but we are not calling any function here. So let's quickly create some screens. Fun home screen. Home screen will contain nothing but a column with max size, vertical arrangement, center, horizontal alignment will be center horizontal, and here we will have a simple text which will be the home. Let's add some style here. Text style of, or we can simply add the material theme dot typography dot h3. Okay, so we will copy paste it 3 times and change our names. Profile screen, and this will be the settings screen. This is setting, this is profile, this is home, and we call home screen here. We will add profile screen here, and we will add setting screen here. See, very simple. Okay, so now we need to create a Nav controller which will be responsible for controlling our routes and navigations. Remember, Nav controller without any navigators. We'll pass it here, and here we are going to add our navigation here. So this is our bottom navigation bar, and this is our content. Content includes three screens which are home, profile and settings, and those three screens are controlled by the Nav controller, which is responsible for navigating from A to B and B to C. In our case, it will be responsible for taking us from home to profile and to settings. Okay, so now let's run our app and see this thing in action. See, this is our destination screen. So it appears first, and this is selected because we have added a condition here that if current route equals to the route, so it enables the selected, and our selected color is white. We can move to different screen, like we can go from profile to home, from home to settings. So in this tutorial we have learned what is Nav controller, how to implement bottom navigation bar, and how to use routes and navigate to different screens. So if you have liked this video, don't forget to subscribe and also like my videos and press the bell icon for latest updates. That's all for today. Thank you so much.